Hi, I'm Alena Huberova, and this is the first video in my new video series 10 Deadly Sins of Pitching Your Business. In this first video, we look at the first deadly sin, which is one of the most common mistakes that people make when they present their business. So, if you work at a startup, or if you're someone who needs to present frequently their business or their product or service to customers or to top management, this video is for you. So what is the deadly sin number one? People have great difficulty articulating what their business is good for. In other words, what type of problems and pains their business is trying to resolve. And this is a big problem, because imagine that your audience are the investors. If the investors do not understand what your business is all about within the first few seconds of your business pitch, I'm afraid you lost them. But worse still, if the investors don't understand it, will your customers understand it? Which is even more critical, right? So let's have a look at some ideas of how to describe what our business does. But first, some assumptions. I assume that you have designed your product or service to solve problems. And I assume that the problems that your business solves are big enough for people to care. Because if you're trying to solve small problems, or if your business doesn't solve any problems, then you're not at the right moment to talk to the investors. Remember, the bigger the problems you solve, the bigger the value of your product or service, and the more interested will the investors be in your business. Okay, so where do we start? First, we need to identify what these problems and pains are, right? So I invite you to think of an existing customer, and I want you to put yourself in their shoes, to see the world through their eyes. I want you to imagine the world they were in before they met you. What were their pains, their frustrations, their troubles, their headaches before they found you? I'm going to give you a very concrete example of something that happened to me. So I had a website. And everything to do with my website and with the management of my website was a complete nightmare for me. The mere thought of doing a little update or publishing an article was something that would give me goosebumps. You see, every time I would publish an article, I would need to double check, triple check the layout of the text, the formatting of the text and the formatting of the pictures, just to make sure that it looks fine when published. Then, once it was published, to actually push it through my social media sites was a nightmare. It was just a lengthy process. Everything I needed to kind of do, all the features on my website, they required me to have a plugin. So imagine, I am not a technical person. I hosted my website was on this open source platform, and the platform would be upgraded time to time, so I would need to manually upgrade my plugins, but for me that was just a nightmare. But the worst came when my website was hacked. It took me ages to get it back up. Of course, I needed to pay someone to do it. It cost me a lot of money. So, all in all, my website and the whole management of my website was a nightmare, and it was a complete waste of time. And you know what? That's the last thing I need when I have to run my business and focus on more critical things, right? But then I found them. Someone told me about this company that provided small business owners with an integrated platform for them to design beautiful modern websites compatible with mobile phones, and have everything already included. So there was no need for extra plugins. There was no need to contract additional services from third-party providers. Basically, all you needed to do was write a text, push a button, and you would have a beautiful article that would be immediately distributed on all the social websites, on the social networks, and it would be as simple as that. So when I heard about that, I immediately checked the company's website, and I thought, this is just ideal, I need to have this. So I immediately contracted them. And now I have to say that I will be releasing my new website on this new platform this week, and I'm just so happy. It will look beautiful. I'm so happy. So why am I telling you this? I am a happy customer. I found a business that managed to solve one of my biggest headaches. So my question to you is, do you have a happy customer like that? What type of headache, what type of problem, what type of pain you manage to resolve for them? I want you to start writing a list of all the things that your customer was going through before they found you. Pains, problems, frustrations, emotions. Be as concrete and as specific and vivid as you can, and also include the emotions that the customer was going through. Do it like if the customer himself or herself was talking, like what I did as an example for you in this video. Basically, you need to end up with a little story about your customer. And there you have it. That's the story that you can then share with the investors or whomever is your target audience. This, my friend, is the best way to describe what your product does. That's the best way to show everyone the value that you provide to your customers. It's to tell a story from your customer's perspective. Telling a story about your customer, about their life, what it was like before and after they found you. Once you told the story, you can of course add additional information about how you actually help them do it and why is it you are the right person to resolve that issue. If you don't have an existing customer, then it doesn't matter. You simply think of the type of headache or nightmare that you can help your customer with, and you create a story using a fictitious character. Or perhaps your business was inspired by your own experience. So talk about it, share a story. Stories are extremely powerful. They make you illustrate your point and they help you connect with your audience, which is something that you want. My friend, this is all from me. I hope it helped you. If you like this video, please like it and share it with your colleagues. If you want to ask me questions, post them or write me an email. I will be very happy to answer. And otherwise, have a lovely day and stay tuned for the next video in our series 10 Deadly Sins of Pitching Your Business.